So welcome to 5-day Java programming code camp from jpassion.com. We used to be called javapassion.com. And I know some of you are attending jpassion.com code camp for the first time. So welcome. And some of you are actually all-time members. Thank you very much. So today we are going to cover, so let me actually talk about the topics that we are going to cover first. Okay. So if you actually log in and click courses, and you are going to see a bunch of courses here. And the first course is Java programming. So if you click Java programming here, and these are the topics that we are going to cover. So as you can see, the course contents provide a PDF file for presentation and recording. So these recordings are somewhat old, so I'm going to re-record all the code camp sessions from today to Friday, and then we are going to repost it here. So this is where you can come back and then listen to it and do the hands-on lab. Yeah, so hands-on lab is also right here. So hands-on lab is detailed documentation as well as sample projects, so you can actually use it for actual code camp, writing code and play around. Okay, so I'm going to explain how you can actually download it and unzip it and read the documentation and follow the steps for the actual the exercise. Okay, so as you can see, this course is comprised of big sections like getting started and learning basics and learning basics of Java programming language. So today we're going to mostly focus on these two. Okay. And from tomorrow, we are going to cover some object-oriented programming concepts, starting with classes and object. Okay, and then the actual object-oriented programming concepts, such as inheritance and abstract class and Java interface and polymorphism. So these are very important topics for writing Java programs. And then we are going to learn some more advanced features of Java programming language, such as inner class, exception handling, how you can do logging. And also we can actually spend some time learning how to use NetBeans. Okay, so as I mentioned before we get started, the primary IDE that we are going to use in this course is NetBeans, mainly because it's a little bit easier to use. But once you get the hang of it, you can use any IDE of your choice. Okay, and then we're going to see how you can actually add your own Java documentation. We'll learn the jar command and collection framework. And we're going to learn how to do some basic swing programming and I/O networking and threading and Java SE5, newly added features from Java SE5. So this is actually from Java programming, but we are going to cover a couple more topics from advanced Java programming as well. So if you go down from the course list, we have advanced Java programming here. So Java SE5 introduces a few important features. So we are going to actually cover annotations and generics as well in this code camp. Okay, so those are the set of topics that we are going to cover. So 5 days, you think 5 day is a long time, long duration? It's not actually. I found that we are running short in most of my previous the code camp. So you have a lot of work to do, and in fact, I expect you to do some homework. Okay, so let's go to Java programming here. For those of you who don't know how to, yeah, I'm going to actually talk about how to actually download a lab file and things like that later on. Okay, so we're going to actually go to Introduction to Java Programming. So it does not have hands-on lab. We're going to just to do the presentation. Okay, so let's go to Java Introduction. So that is Java SE Intro. So that's the file. Yeah, so this is a brief introduction to Java technology. So for those of you who are new to Java, so this will give you a big picture of how Java technology is in fact constructed and some of the underlying technologies under Java. So historical background, and then we'll cover what Java technology is, and then we'll talk about types of Java platforms. There are in fact the three different Java platforms depending on the devices that it's supposed to address. So Java SE and Java EE and Java ME. So our focus is Java SE, which is actually for desktop platform or laptop platform, and Java EE is for building enterprise application, and Java ME is for building mobile application. And we are going to see how Java fit in, and then we are going to take a look at the very simple steps for building Java application. So let's talk about historical background, how Java was born. So Java was created by a guy named James Gosling when he was working for Sun Microsystems. He named the technology as Oak, basically named after the tree outside his office, but the name was already taken by someone else as a trademark, so trademark name, so he had to change to Java. So that's how Java, name Java, was actually born. So why Java was created by James Gosling? So when James Gosling was inventing Java, his original motivation is to create platform-independent programming language that could be used for consumer devices such as toasters and refrigerators. So before Java, it was not really possible to write a single program to run that to run that program over different types of devices. If you're writing, for example, C application or C++ application, you have to actually create different versions for each of these devices. So when James Gosling was working for Sun Microsystems, they want to actually build a programming language that could be used on all these different devices. Okay, but the motivation was not really realized. Java was just too big to fit into these consumer devices, which doesn't really provide much memory space and high power CPU. So the original motivation never took off. Okay. However, at the same time, the web was gaining popularity. So James Gosling and the Sun Microsystems figured Java could be actually a good fit for building an application for the browser. So idea was, the different type of browsers running on different platforms, they could actually download a Java application called the applet, and that applet should be able to run on all these different devices. So the Java was, originally the original motivation for Java technology is for consumer devices, but the actual success of Java was actually for the web. So what is Java technology? So Java technology is actually three of the following. It is a programming language, it is a development environment, and it is a runtime environment. Okay, so depending on who you talk to, you might actually get a different sense of what Java technology is all about. But Java technology is in fact all three of this. Typically, when we talk about Java, we consider as the first is a programming language, but it's more than programming language. It's a development environment as well as runtime environment. So let's talk about each of these aspects of Java technology in a bit more detail. So Java technology as programming language. So as a programming language, Java can create all kinds of applications. So you can certainly create a desktop application such as a word processing application. And in fact, that's actually what we are going to actually focus on, desktop kind of application technology on Java SE. You can build enterprise applications such as inventory management systems or payroll systems, and that is mainly for the enterprise organizations that needs high level functionality such as security and scalability and performance and all those things. And that is actually built with Java EE. And you can also build the mobile applications, and those mobile applications are such as phones and tablets, and that could be built with a Java ME. Also, you can actually have Java applications to be run as an applet. Again, that could be run inside the browser. Okay? So every browser is actually installed with Java Runtime. So that's the reason you can actually download the Java applet and should be able to run inside your browser. Okay? And there is even Java Card. This is a very small Java environment where you can actually run very tiny applications. So this is like a credit card size devices. All right, so that is Java technology as a programming language, and Java technology as a development environment. So as Java technology as a development environment, it provides a bunch of tools, such as it provides a compiler, so Java C, which we are going to actually use to compile your Java source code into Java class file. It does provide interpreter. So this is actually a Java runtime. So once you got the class file, you can run that Java program, and that execution environment is provided by Java. Okay, so in Windows, it's gonna be called the java.exe file. Okay. It does provide a documentation generator such as a Java doc and set of libraries. So these are the things, these are the tools that you can use to build a Java application. So these tools are provided in a form of JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, so we're going to use the term JDK most of the time. Okay, but it means Java Development Kit. That includes these kind of tools. Okay. Then there are many Java IDEs that provide integrated development environment. Okay, so basically IDE such as Eclipse, NetBeans, IntelliJ IDEA, it includes these tools underneath. Okay, so it provides much more pleasant development environment, but basically they are using these JDK tools underneath. Okay, so Java technology as a runtime environment. So Java runtime environment, as I said before, is represented by this java.exe file that comes with a JDK. Okay, so when you run your application, Java application using this Java, basically the Java providing a runtime environment. Java runtime environment, you can think of it as a virtual operating system. Okay, so without Java, basically you are running your Windows application and Windows operating system is providing runtime environment, right? In Java, JVM or JRE, so Java runtime environment called the JRE, this is actually providing virtual operating system. So basically if you visualize your, let's say, Windows, Mac, or Linux, basically you have a Windows operating system. On the top of it, you're going to have this Java virtual machine, JVM, which is represented by this JRE. Those are, you can think of JRE and JVM the same thing, okay? That environment is actually providing virtual operating system so that you can run your Java application inside in their virtual operating system called the JRE or JVM. So in fact, you can see multiple examples of this JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So if you're running your desktop Java application, that runtime environment is provided by java.exe file for Windows environment. Okay, and in Mac OS and Linux, it's going to be called just Java. And browser is built-in. Browser has a built-in Java runtime environment. So as I said before, inside the browser, you should be able to download applet from some website. That applet is a genuine Java application, and then you should be able to run that Java application because the browser contains this Java runtime environment inside the browser. So that built-in Java runtime environment inside the browser is going to run that applet Java application. The server, so when you are running your enterprise application built with a Java EE, you are going to run that application over a server such as Tomcat and Glassfish. So these servers come with its own version of Java runtime environment. Okay, so when you're running Java EE application over Tomcat, it's running Tomcat Java. That application is running on the top of Tomcat Java runtime environment. Mobile devices. You could have a mobile devices that contains Java ME. That Java ME also actually has Java runtime environment. So you should be able to run Java ME mobile application on those mobile platforms. So these are the examples of Java runtime environment. Again, the easiest way to understand a Java runtime environment is to think of it as a virtual operating system. Okay, so It is these JREs of these devices, these platforms that provides a common runtime environment for Java programs. So once you actually have a single Java binary file, Java application, that Java application should be able to run on different platforms. So for example, if you build a Java application, that should be able to run on Windows, and Mac OS and Linux, because each of those platforms has their own version of Java runtime environment. Okay, and because that virtual operating system JRE provides a common platform for the running Java application, so that's the reason that you can write once and run everywhere Java applications. Okay, which means you don't have to write a different version of Java application for different platforms. Instead, you write just one Java application, and then you should be able to run on different platforms. Now, that write once and run everywhere is per each JRE. So for desktop application, it's not going to be run on browser or server or the devices. Okay, so what I mean by write once and run everywhere is actually on this particular the platform. And same thing for this. If you write an applet, that applet should be able to run on any browser on any platforms. Okay, if you write a single Java EE application, that should be able to run on Tomcat or Glassfish or WebLogic, again without recompilation. So that write once and run everywhere is actually confined to a particular the runtime. Okay, so I just want to actually review what we just talked about. Java, when we talk about Java technology, it is actually three of this. Okay, it is a programming language. It also provides development environment. It also provides runtime environment. In our course, we are going to mostly focus on programming language aspect of it. So we are going to learn how to write a program using these development environment tools, and then we are going to run it over runtime environment. All right, so hopefully that gives you a sense of what Java technology is all about. Okay, so let's talk about types of Java platform. So as I mentioned briefly, there are three different versions of Java platforms, three major. In fact, there is a Java card, but that's not actually as major as these three major platforms. So standard edition is mostly for desktops and the laptops. Micro edition is for mobile devices, and high-end enterprise edition is for high-end server. Okay, so these three different Java platforms are for different the needs and different devices. Okay, so this is another picture of those three different Java platforms. So Java SE, so this is what we are going to focus in this course. Java EE is a superset of Java SE. So Java EE has Java SE features, and then on the top of Java SE, it does have enterprise quality features such as a security and such as the transaction support and all those things. Okay, so Java EE is a superset of Java SE, adding enterprise the enterprise quality features. Then we have Java ME. So these are basically Java ME. Okay, so Java ME has a different set of technologies, which you're not going to talk about that much in this course. And then on the bottom, you could have a Java card. Okay. So again, the focus of this course is Java SE. All right, so where does Java fit in? So basically, you have an operating system here, as I mentioned before. It could be Windows, Linux, Mac OS. Then Java virtual machine. So this is Java runtime. Okay, so we named it as a JRE, right? So on the desktop platform, that is actually Java exe file for Windows platform and Java for Linux and Mac OS. And on the top of it, you have a Java application. Okay. So regardless of the operating system, you should be able to run a single Java application over different operating system because the application is running on the top of this Java virtual machine, which is actually providing common operating environment for regardless of the operating system. Okay, so let's talk about Java program development. So basically, you are going to write your Java application. Java application is a collection of Java source files. So suppose if you're writing a very simple hello world Java application that contains a single Java source code, so you're going to name it as hello.java. So that's a source code, okay? You're going to actually write this Java source code using your favorite editor of your choice. Again, you're going to mostly use IDE's editor, okay? And then you're going to compile it. So this compiler, Java compiler, which is represented by Java C.exe file for Windows and Java C for Mac OS and Linux, is going to compile this Java source file into what is called the class file. Okay, so that class file is going to be called hello.class file. And then you're going to run this hello.class file over Java runtime environment. So that's Java interpreter. That is actually Java runtime. Okay, so when we say Java interpreter, we mean Java runtime environment. Okay, so you can actually compile this code just once. Okay, and if you change it, then you have to compile again, of course. Okay, and once you compile your Java source code into Java class file, in this case hello.class file, you can actually run this application many times, of course. Okay, and of course we're going to actually go through this process, and we are going to do some exercise later on. So two big important steps is you compile your Java source code into a class file, and then you can just run it over Java runtime environment. Okay, so this is a repeat of previous slide. So these are the tasks that you have to perform in order to write Java application, in order to write and run your Java application. So you write a program, okay? So you can use any text editor of your choice. You can use Notepad on Windows or TextMate on Mac OS. Or JEdit, whatever editor of your choice. And again, typically you're going to use an IDE's code editor or text editor. And then it will create, you're going to create a Java source file called .java. Okay, so every Java source file should end with a .java extension. Okay, so that's the way the compiler understands that this is the Java source file. Okay, and you are going to then use the compiler to compile the program, and that will generate the class file. Okay, so this class file is sometimes called a Java bytecode. Okay, so Java bytecode means class file. Okay, and then you're going to run that Java class file. Okay, and basically you're going to run that Java class file providing Java runtime environment. So again, when I say Java interpreter, I mean Java runtime environment. That's basically Java exe file. Okay, and then you will have an output. Okay, so there are two different ways that you can build and run and test and debug and profile your Java application. Option one is using your editor of your choice and then use command line tools such as Java C and Java.exe file that comes with the JDK. Option two is using an IDE of your choice. NetBeans, Eclipse, IntelliJ IDEA, those are three primary popular IDEs people use. In general, you're gonna use IDE 99.9% of the time. Okay, but today we are going to actually build Java application using command line tools to just get the sense of how things work underneath. Okay, so from maybe sometime this afternoon, we are going to use IDE 100%. Okay, all right. By the way, as I said before, we're going to mostly use NetBeans. But if you're familiar with Eclipse, yeah, feel free to use Eclipse for this course. That's perfectly fine. All right, so that is the end of the presentation. So let me make sure that I did the recording. So let me just stop